You are listening to the global network of podcasters dedicated to the pharmacy profession. Welcome to the Pharmacy Podcast Network.
FrameworkLTC Innovation Conference was September 15th through the 17th, 2025 in San Diego. We're bringing you press coverage from the floor where long-term care pharmacy connects and innovates. Today's episode spotlight real-world tech that's reshaping LTC operations from analytics to access and how those tools translate into safer, faster care. FrameworkLTC from SoftWriters powers hundreds of LTC pharmacies with workflow automation, billing, and real-time insight across dispensing and delivery. If you're building a resilient, scalable LTC operation, this is where you'll see what's next. Across this series, we sat down with leaders in LTC pharmacy, operators, clinicians, and partners to unpack what's working, what isn't, and which integrations are worth your time. This coverage is sponsored by the FrameworkFocus podcast, part of the Pharmacy Podcast Network, your monthly deep dive into trends in tech shaping LTC. Stick with us for candid conversations, practical takeaways, and a front row view of the conference.
FrameworkFocus, the podcast for everything long-term care pharmacy.
I'm here with Patrick Cosgrove. Patrick, what do you do at SoftWriters?
I am the regional sales executive in the Southeast for FrameworkLTC and ECM, primarily on the new business side.
You know, before we were interviewing, you and I were talking about kind of like the evolution of where we're at today. And you had experience in electronic health records, gathering data from other sources. Jump ahead now, 2025. I feel like the old head in the room, because I can say, back in the day, you know, we had a closed database system, and then SQL came on the market, and Framework was revolutionary. Now we have things like Framework Insights. We have artificial intelligence kind of being part of it. You have like a larger insight about systems that you used to sell and be part of. Give us an overview of where you think long-term care pharmacy technology is going.
Well, that's a full question, is that I definitely think AI is going to continue to improve, not only from a new RX standpoint, but better make operational decisions. That's where insights come in, but not just where we're going. From the last 4 years that I've been with SoftWriters, the amount of products that they've released, I just want to call out, like Insight obviously this year, but there was RXP. We've seen, POD release. We've seen several different software products that have already helped impact. I think being able to take those products that we've already have, grow on top of it, is going to be where we will make the quickest impact. When we talk long-term down the road, where I brought up the new RX piece, we've kind of figured out that refill requests and being able to automate those processes. But one of the biggest challenges right now in the order entry space is employment and costs going up, and as those costs go up, the software piece of it is going to be most important to be able to help automate those workflows accurately and make sure that you are not just replacing an order entry technician, you actually are better and more accurate and more efficient with those operations. So I see those being the two biggest areas that AI will improve.
We are in sunny San Diego here, celebrating long-term care pharmacy. There are so many people here. This is like one of the biggest events that I've been to with regards to Framework's user conference, and that is an innovation in and of itself. But what do you like about gathering our clients together and being here?
Well, the collaboration is definitely the best part. Not only are the ideas that are going to come from this conference are going to be kind of the stepping stones to the future, but pulling together the biggest players in the long-term care space, putting them in the same room, not only sharing our vision, but then listening back to what they're telling us. And that's really where we'll be able to make the biggest impact, listening to our customers, the leaders in that space, and then making the adjustments from there.
Absolutely. It's almost like you guys are creating a new blueprint of what is the future of long-term care pharmacy.
We are the gold standard.
That's right. No bias. Me either.
Bias, none, yeah.
Well, hey, we love this. We love being part of it. Thank you so much for being on FrameworkFocus.
Thank you, Todd, for having us.
FrameworkLTC Innovation Conference 2025. I'm here with Third Wave RX, Alicia Wetzel, fellow Pittsburgher.
Yeah.
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers.
They need all the help they can get. Steelers
we were hopeful, but so far it's not looking too good.
It's inconsistent. It's exactly what we are. We're either really good or really bad. And last week it was bad.
Yeah.
All right,
Bad.
Let's talk about business. We're here at the Innovation Conference. What is it about Framework LTC and this conference that you invest time to come to? What do you like best about being here?
Well, I love the energy of all of the innovators here and the technology companies and the automation and the pharmacies, last but not least. So the leading long-term care pharmacies that are supporting and servicing the long-term care facilities across the country. The players are here, and it's a great conference to attend to get in front of them.
Yeah, I like it too because it brings all of the players specifically in long-term care under one roof, and we can really kind of brainstorm together. Speaking of brainstorming, if I'm trying to scale my long-term care pharmacy, especially with we're coming out of a lot of facets of PBM reform, my rebates and rebate strategy, if I'm a pharmacy operator or I'm a pharmacist or I own part of the business, I need a partner to really help me dial into that. Talk to us about what Third Wave is doing and how that's impacting profitability for our long-term care pharmacies.
So we are a leader in the post-administration managed care Part A rebate space, and we provide unparalleled leading rebates to long-term care pharmacies. What we also provide are pharmacy cost management services. So these pharmacies who are, struggling, and they have their challenges from anywhere from operations, but also to the cost of their medications and returns, and dealing with all of those medication costs, that we provide them tools and solutions to support them with all that. And then when it comes to the post-administration rebates, these rebates are truly a match because of where we stand with our partners at the PBM level. And so whenever we partner at the top of the mountain, there's not multiple layers in between us, and we're able to maximize rebates for our pharmacy clients.
And then I don't have, if I'm an operator, I'm on Framework LTC, I don't have to worry about going to a separate website and doing a username, password, or anything. There's some API that's feeding me data, or feeding you data.
Correct, right. We're able to interface and feed the data directly right through, just like their EMR systems, and we're functioning just as similar as that. From an adjudication process, over 50% of our pharmacies are adjudicating through our platform, which is just like how the pharmacies are billing through the Framework LTC system. And it's really a smooth transition for them to, adjudicate through our platform.
All right, I own a long-term care pharmacy. I have 4,000 patient lives I'm caring for. I want to reach out to you. I'm listening to what you're saying right now. How long does it take you to do an evaluation for me to tell me maybe how much revenue differential there'll be once we implement your solution?
Yes, absolutely. So as soon as we get the data in our hands, we can get an analysis return back to our clients within a few days, and to do a thorough analysis and presentation to walk you through what that exact return would look like and that maximized rebates would look like. Per NDC, we provide full transparency at an NDC level, and so you can see what that true return and rebate would look like.
Excellent. All right, I'm listening to the show. You've piqued my interest. Where do I go? What's your website so we can reach out to Third Wave RX?
So we're at thirdwaverx.com. And we also have a LinkedIn profile as well, and certainly, our team is all across the country. We all essentially work remote, but we have a few locations. Our corporate location is in Las Vegas, but we also have our founders headquartered in Boca Raton, and then we also have a location in Manhattan. So in Salt Lake City, our data entry and data team, they're located in Salt Lake City. So we're really in all areas.
The only locations I want to meet Alicia in is Pittsburgh. It's my favorite city.
Yes,
and I'm
go
going to
Steelers.
Boca Raton to meet you down there,
Exactly,
too.
yeah. I'll meet you there, too.
Everything else you can keep,
Yes.
especially the Vegas. I don't want to go to Vegas.
I like San Diego right now, though. We're
I
here,
do.
and I'm loving
We are
it here.
It is very nice.
Yes.
And we have the water right out front. Mm-hmm. It's very nice. So, Alicia, this was your very first podcast, wasn't it?
It was my first, yes.
All right. You heard it here on the Pharmacy Podcast Network. Thanks for being part of the Innovation Show.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, this is Bill Hertz. I'm a Senior Director at BD Parata, and you're listening to FrameworkFocus.
Hey, Bill, we are here at the Innovation Conference, FrameworkLTC Innovation Conference 2025. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
All right, so I am a Gen Xer. I'm a very proud Gen Xer. My parents are baby boomers. Probably yours are as well.
Absolutely.
And we are, as a nation, we're not even to the crest of the baby boomer hill yet. So pharmacy in the space of critical care, chronic care, long-term care, senior care, this is so important to support these organizations. Why is BD in this space, and what's special about the Parata BD? I've known Parata for over 20 years, but what is it about this space that's special to you guys?
Well, I think you said it well, Todd. At the end of the day, it's the ability to help the long-term care pharmacies and this industry to be able to take care of patients, some of the sickest of the sick, that long-term, as we see that baby boomer age and need increasing, the care needs to be there. And the long-term care industry and what the pharmacies are able to provide is really critical to them. And so we're thrilled as BD Parata to be able to continue to support these pharmacies, take care of these providers, and provide solutions to them that help them reduce their costs, drive efficiencies, and deliver better patient care. At the end of the day, we all have a mother and father, like you said, that someday, or could be ourselves, that need care in these areas, and we want to make sure to be a part of it and to drive solutions and help them.
What about the role of the pharmacist in, they take it's football season, so I have to revert to football analogy, but
Absolutely.
the physician's on the field, the quarterback of all the care, they pitch it out to the wide receiver, which is our pharmacist, to run it, but that role is so evolving. We see pharmacogenomics testing, we see general testing, immunization management. In the space of long-term care, what are you seeing expanding out of the role of the pharmacist?
Yeah, we do think that the pharmacy is going to continue to be able to operate at the top of their license and really be able to move just beyond, obviously, the medication dispense, which is obviously critical, but to be part of that total care team, really looking at the care of the patient long-term and making sure that they're driving, yes, their medication usage, but also some of those key innovative areas that you mentioned.
Bill, we appreciate you being part of this conference, being part of this interview. What else? What's next for you? It's conference season for me. What's the next event that you're going to?
Well, we'll be continuing to come to other events and really speaking with customers, going out with them, understanding, what they're facing day to day. It's a dynamic industry, obviously. There's a lot going on, and really the main thing for us in BD Parata is just to continue to use the support and the backing of BD to drive innovation, to continue to come up with more solutions, better solutions that help to continue to drive better patient care, help them with their efficiency, help with the speed of their operations. Again, it's a tough time. It's going to continue to be a tough time in healthcare, but how can we drive solutions, drive innovation to help them deliver that care to their patients? It's an exciting time, also it's a critical time, and we're thrilled to be able to support them in that area.
Bill, thanks for being part of the FrameworkFocus coverage of the Innovation Conference. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, we'll be right back with more FrameworkFocus.
In long-term care pharmacy, decisions can't wait, but disconnecting systems and static reports can slow you down. SoftWriters is introducing a new way to manage your data with Framework Insight. Framework Insight is an AI-powered business intelligence platform built for LTC pharmacies using FrameworkLTC to manage day-to-day pharmacy operations. With intuitive dashboards, you can track key metrics like prescriptions filled, drug costs, inventory trends, claims, and profitability. Drill down, set alerts, and save custom views so you're always a step ahead with at-a-glance and on-demand visualizations into your pharmacy's most essential metrics. Framework Insight syncs your data daily, giving you instant visibility into both daily operations and comparing current trends to historic performance benchmarks. Turn data into decisions, and decisions into progress. To see it in action today, visit frameworkltc.com/Framework Insight.
All right, scenario is I get into the office, it's a Monday, I get down on my desk, I'm opening up my dashboard, I'm opening up my FrameworkLTC dashboard, and suddenly I can't even log in. I put my username password in, the next thing you know, I get some kind of message where my entire network has been attacked, and I get an email that says, hey, we're holding your entire infrastructure, we're holding your patient PHI information, we're holding all of this stuff ransom, and you have to send us $1 million to release it. This is truly happening. Maybe not exactly like that, but we have Mr. Chris Callahan here. Introduce yourself, tell us about your company, and let's dig into this subject of cybersecurity.
Sure, thank you for having me. And this is Chris Callahan with Echelon Risk and Cyber, a cybersecurity consulting and managed cybersecurity services company. The situation that you're describing is not something that is uncommon, right, for a lot of small to mid-sized businesses in America, specific to the LTC pharmacy community. And really, what you're describing is the incident itself when that organization is now right of boom. The incident has taken place, and it would be in their best interest to revert to their incident response plan, which hopefully they have tested and gone through role-playing scenarios in the past month or the past quarter. Unfortunately, that is not always the case. A lot of small to mid-sized businesses are resource constrained, and cybersecurity is not always a priority for them until the incident does arise. So a lot of what we do at our company is to help organizations prepare for that incident when they are proverbially left of boom, so that they are in a position to recover and be resilient when or if an incident does take place.
Chris, are you helping my team to get trained as to what to do if there's a questionable email that comes in? Like, does this start with training?
So it starts with training, it starts with culture, and it starts with leadership. Cybersecurity needs to be looked at as a business risk. It is not a cyber risk. This is something that the leadership team within an organization needs to show is a priority for their organization, and it will truly give them a competitive advantage in the marketplace. A more resilient business is a more competitive business today in America. And the reason why is because these cyber threats that people are experiencing, these are not lone hackers. These are not, teenagers in their grandmother's basement. These are nation-state actors. These are large-scale businesses that are operating in Eastern Europe, in parts of Asia, where they are making millions of dollars on a daily basis by exploiting American businesses that do not have mature cybersecurity programs in place. And it's important for the small to mid-sized businesses to realize that there are people who showed up to an office today on the other side of the world with an RFID badge. They scanned in, they sat down at their desk, and for the next 8 or 9 hours, they are going to be commissioned on the amount of money that they are able to extract from U.S. businesses. And the smaller and mid-sized businesses are going to be the softer targets for them. The LTC pharmacies, specifically because of their sensitivity to disruption and downtime, are prime targets for them because they know they will be more likely to get that ransomware payment. So we help protect against that.
Share with us some of the statistics of the impact, the monetary damage that's done to businesses in your time doing this that have been nightmares for businesses.
So if you go back about 10 or 15 years, the typical ransomware attack would result in about a $5,000 to $10,000 ransom request, which the CEO would promptly put on their credit card, and they would not typically have to divulge that a security incident took place, and everybody went on their merry way. In the last couple of years, we have now seen those ransoms dialed up to the tune of $1 to $3 million, Oftentimes, the threat actors are researching where the CEO's house is, what the median household prices look like, what the revenue looks like on that business, and 1/3 of the annual revenue is typically the ransomware request.
It's crazy. And then we just heard, it's been a while now, maybe a year to 2 years ago, where the big shutdown of payments took place on a national scale. What organization was that?
So that was change.org.
Change.org, right.
An interesting fact I will throw out there, we have 2 individuals on staff at Echelon Risk and Cyber that were day one responders to the change.org healthcare data breach, the largest breach in the history of America, which resulted in over $2 billion in fines, in profit loss, and reputational damage.
All right, so I'm listening. I'm a little bit scared now at this point, and I want to kind of take the first steps. What is it? Is there an evaluation? Is there a firewall test? What are you doing in order to get me started for services that you could provide?
The best way for us to engage with a client is to do an assessment of where they stand today to understand their cybersecurity maturity. We don't look at security as a light switch that we turn on or off. It's really a journey for that organization, and we need to understand where we're starting so that we can address the immediate pain points. We then typically lay out a 12 to 18-month roadmap with clearly defined milestones so that at the end of the engagement, we can both look back and see the progress that has been made in terms of their incident response plans, tabletop exercises, and overall cyber resilience.
Hey, this has been a great opportunity for us to learn from you. Very much appreciate you taking time to talk with us on the FrameworkFocus podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Honor and privilege.
Greg Hutchison here at the FrameworkLTC Innovation User Conference. I gotta say, it's not the user conference, it's just the innovation conference, because we're here for innovation.
That's correct. That is correct.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to be here. Great to see everybody new in the space here.
Listeners might not realize, but we're like the old heads now.
That's true.
You know?
How times have changed, huh?
We can say 20 years ago.
Yeah, and it's truly like, 20 years, too.
Gosh, Greg. So Greg was one of our first outside trainers to help expand training to take a very complex system. Back in the day, we were competing, when I was selling FrameworkLTC, we were selling against closed database systems that weren't SQL. And back then, you couldn't do anything with the software except work in it and print your label, and that was it. Whereas the dynamicness and the evolution of Framework was like, hey, here's your database, do whatever you want to with your data. And that was so novel.
Oh, absolutely. Open architecture was really the way to go. I mean, before that, you didn't have an easy way to get reporting, to get metrics out, that you really needed to make sure that your pharmacy was doing what it needed to do, to make sure that your revenue was where it needed to be. Instead of being forced into a report that was built by somebody that may not run a pharmacy, right? May not understand all those extra things that you do a little different that may need some customization to it. So allowing that open architecture was huge, right? It just wasn't existent at the time.
Yep. So talk to about your organization and your special partnership with SoftWriters.
Sure. So currently I'm with Carvajal Technology Group. We are a hosting company, right? First and foremost. So we'll take pretty much all the IT that surrounds a pharmacy, and that starts from your server infrastructure, right? We'll put all the servers out in the cloud. It's all personal cloud, right? So it's not going into Azure, it's not going into AWS, any of those. And the reason for that is just because we can control a lot more, right? We control cost, right? We don't have to worry about when the servers are on, when the servers are off. But in the end, it just gives us the ability to be a little more custom with those pharmacies and really give you what you need. So the hosting side is our bread and butter. I mean, that's just, you need to have IT staff there. Well, what we do a little bit different, because I don't know, let's be honest, right? There's other hosters in a room, right? And there's other people that do great at doing that service. We go a little bit differently because we add more services on top of that. Okay. So because we have a good bit of expertise inside the FrameworkLTC, the Framework ECM products, really all the SoftWriters suite that they have. So we staff ourselves with people very knowledgeable in that area. So when you get to your regular hosting and you get a phone call out there for support where, hey, I can't log in, or I need this installed on my server. Look, every hosting company, you've got to be able to do that or you shouldn't be in the space. Right? right? Where we try and make that the next evolution of the support there is we staff the people that know how to use your software. We know how to go into the database, and we know how to make mass changes and bulk changes, and just to be able to save you time on your technician sitting there and clicking 50 times to go do something because they made a mistake when they entered it. We can go in the background and just go update all that stuff in one run, right? Reporting, we know how the data works, where it flows through the databases. So somebody calls in and says, hey, I want to report. We build it, it's out there within the day, right? So all those services come part of our package. It's not a nickel and dime. It's not a let's buy part of this and part of this. We give you a one cost flat rate, and that covers everything that we do for you. So all the reports you want, all the automations and interfacing, we have a lot of cool things right now that we're really kind of produce and give out to the customer, and we don't charge for them. In our minds, we're trying to help the customer beat what's going on right now in the industry, right? Yep. Try and make the most out of the money they have, and continue through so we can push through this problem that we're all kind of facing against, and make sure we make it out on the other end. So like Medicare census dates, being able to fill those in automatically from the PCC side, right? People spend hours a day doing that kind of stuff. We automate a lot of that type of stuff, right? Automating claims that need to be fixed for reasons that you can logically explain, like how you would fix something. So we do all those types of automations, put them into the systems of the pharmacies, let them run, customize them if they need, and in the end, they're a leaner machine. They're able to capitalize more on that, and in the end, just produce a better product.
So when I think of scalability in the realm of the competitiveness of our market, long-term care pharmacy specifically, I have a relationship with my long-term care pharmacy, has someone out doing sales and business development. I have a nursing home that has 120 beds. They're really sick of, their existing pharmacy is not working. You get that business. Now they want to turn that business over as quickly as possible to get it up and running. Yeah. Is your organization helping to speed up implementation?
We do. So we do it a couple ways. We've been involved in the conversion space for quite some time. So we're very good with taking the data from one spot, moving it into another. And recently what we've seen is we can get those exports from a lot of those companies. So they'll give us an export of the data. Let's say all your patient demographics, right? They'll give us the what they call here in Framework, they use their external IDs. They'll give us all that in spreadsheets, and we have loading tools that we just take them, we pop them into the system, we'll pop their orders in there, and you really kind of remove the data entry side. So we have pharmacies now that they give us lists a couple days a week. They say, hey, I got a new facility, can you go load these? And for us, we run in the background real quick, we click a couple buttons, and it loads the whole thing in for them. We give them back a list of, okay, there was 3 patients we couldn't match, you guys will do those manually. Wow. So yeah, really cuts down on that time if we're able to get that data.
Greg, appreciate you. It's a homecoming for both of us.
Homecoming it is.
And being here at the Innovation Conference is special, and thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having
me. Teresa Cunningham here at the FrameworkLTC Innovation Conference 2025. Teresa, what's your favorite part of being at this event?
Getting to see all of the customers, interacting with them, asking them how it's going, what they're seeing with the new product releases, how we can assist them in anything.
Teresa, we love being here in sunny San Diego and being part of this. Thanks for being part of the show. Jeff Swanson here from JFRCRX. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Todd. Thanks for having me.
All right, so innovation is a word we're hearing a lot about. This is the FrameworkLTC Innovation Conference. Talk to me about being a partner of Framework and why it's important to be here.
Yeah, for us, it's an impactful conference because the majority of the big players in the long-term care industry are Framework customers. So when we're at a show like this and we can really be talking to the players on what they need, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, and how can our hardware and our software touch what they're doing to keep patients safe and cared for. It really drives innovation for us to be able to go back to our team and not just be happy with what we're bringing to the market, but be looking 6, 12, 18 months down the road in terms of our development plan. So from a sales perspective, great to see everyone, great to talk, and great to introduce the technology. But from a partnership perspective, it's probably the most impactful show that we can do from feedback that we're getting live from customers.
Listeners, you might not realize, but your organization really concentrates not only on the box systems that are doing packaging, but you have developers that are really doing clean API interfaces to make things so seamless to systems like FrameworkLTC. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's true. So the story that I tend to tell people is when I left the technology side of pharmacy for about 6 years. And when I came back, I walked a trade show floor to see just what was new, expecting to see new technology. Mm-hmm. And it was very shocking to see pretty much the same technology in the industry that I walked away from 6 years ago. And at JFC, one of the things that we're focused on is you have to have amazing hardware behind it, which with the TruePak, the TrueCard, and our TrueScript, I believe we do. But the software aspect of it and having the APIs and the ability to integrate and look downstream and say, we want a system like Framework to be the source of truth. Mm-hmm. And not have to do dual entry on drug databases, not to have to do dual entry on completion of the meds that are coming in. And having this one locked-in interface that allows you to manage your entire pharmacy from a technology perspective in a web-based environment, which is also a huge change to what the industry has historically done. So we're working directly with Framework right now to get this bi-directional interface. And what that'll allow us to do is keep the machines as efficient as possible from a hardware perspective, but then feed the pharmacies how do you maintain this production level or enhance this production level from a software management perspective on it. And as busy as pharmacies are right now, they don't have the ability to go in and search for this information. Mm-hmm. So it's available, but if you don't know where to look and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, it's impossible to find. Mm-hmm. And your technicians, their job's getting stuff out the door. Yeah, they're not sitting here running reports and looking at the information. So we want to be that partner that says, you're doing 100 patients a day on this machine, we can get you to 125 and keep that cost to fill at that same level or lower than what you're doing today. And that's what our Enlight management software is really going to do as it's tied into Framework here very shortly in the future.
Very good. So someone's interested in learning more. Where should they go to connect with you?
Absolutely. So they can find us on LinkedIn, or they can go to our website directly, which is jfcrx.com. It has all of our suite of services on that website and the ability to connect with us directly from there.
Excellent. Jeff, thanks you for being on Framework Focus, the podcast about everything to do with long-term care pharmacy. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.